onweghị mgbe ike mmadụ ga-aka n'ike Chukwu, onweghị mgbe ike mmadụ ga-aka n'ike Chukwu. Nna bịa nụrụ, onye kere ụwa bịa nụrụ olu anyị. Nna bịa nụrụ, onye kere ụwa bịa nụrụ olu anyị.
This sunken-eyed moment, wobbling down the rocky steepness on broken bones, slowly, fearfully, to hideous concourse of gathering sorrows in the valley, will yet become in another year a lost Christmas, irretrievable in the heights, its exploding inferno transmuted by cosmic distances to the peacefulness of a cool twinkling star. To dead cells of the moment came faraway sounds of other men's quarrels, floating on the crackling waves, mocking us. With regret, hope, longing, none of these, strangely, not even despair, rather distilling pure transcendental hate. Beyond the hospital gate, the good nuns had set up a manger of palms to house a fine plaster cast scene at Bethlehem. The Holy Family was central, serene, the child Jesus, plump, wise-looking and rose-cheeked, one of the Magi in keeping with legend, a black Othello in sumptuous robes. Other figures of men and angels stood at well-appointed distances from the heart of the divine miracle, and the usual cattle gazed on in holy wonder. Poorer than the poor worshippers before her, who had paid their homage with pitiful offerings of new aluminium coins that few traders would take, and a frayed 5-shilling note. She only crossed herself and prayed open-eyed, her infant son flat like a dead lizard on her shoulder, his arms and legs cauterized by famine was a miracle of its kind. Large sunken eyes, stricken past boredom to a flat, unrecognizing gluiness, moped far away motionless across her shoulders. Now, her adoration over, she turned him around and pointed to those pretty figures of God and angels and men and beasts, a spectacle to stir the heart of a child. But all he vouchsafed was one slow deadpan look of total unrecognition, and he began again to swivel his enormous head away to mope as before at his empty distance. She shrugged her shoulders, crossed herself again, and took him away.
My name is Ogo. I want to talk about Christmas in Biafra. I cannot recollect or have any memory of Christmas in Biafra. Yes, I was a very little girl. I never remembered anything about having good times. As a little girl in Biafra, my memory and recollection of what happened was always being taken in the morning, being taken to the bunker bunker that was built because of air raids. These bunkers were built, it was man-made, dug out from on the ground, and layers or lines of palm trees log were put on top of it, made it solid and covered with grass. But you step inside the bunker, it's very comfortable, holding many young children like ourselves. So our parents put us there when there are bomb raids, and so that we'll be safe, and they come back to collect us. Apart from we young people using it for shelter, from bombs. Also, the adult men also run in there to hide against conscription. So what the adult men, my father included, what happened is that when we noticed that the army vehicles are coming to come and conscript men, so we have a signal that any one of us can sing, and the men will run and rush into the bunker. The song or the signal goes like, Ewo muna wandem kurugog abirego Ifeacho na reranyi. And once we sing that song, all the men will know that the vehicle, the army vehicle for conscription is coming, and they will rush to that bunker. Yeah, during the war, my mom was working at the General Hospital in Imbise, and never really saw her much because she was inundated with work in the hospital, with lines and lines of soldiers in the ward and outside the corridors, needing help and crying for help. My mom is so empathetic that she saw it as something that she must do, being at hand at all times to help these wounded soldiers. So her work came first, and which was good because I learned from her how to be caring. My father also was working, supporting our local parish with the characters, to provide relief, corn meals, egg yolks, stockfish, and salted stockfish, giving relief to all the people that had nothing to eat. So my parents were all caring. When my father was not, escaping the, frequent conscription, he was busy helping the people, working with the characters to provide relief to all the people. So, that's the background of help during the Biafran War, even though I was very little, it's a platform that set me up in working in charity and setting up charity and wanting to help the downtrodden, and those that are less fortunate than myself. So in essence, the Biafran War, with all the deaths and all that, taught us a lot of resilience and helping one another. So that was my memory of Christmas in Biafra. That wasn't a good time. There was no dancing, especially where I come from in Imbise, and the part of Imbise that I come from.
Ahagewo.
Joseph Nwog.
Okay, Joseph.
Gibalukwa na hu Igbo m ya Onyango.
Nwog. Okay. Onye Upe. Kedị na Councilor ọchịchị obodo
Ngọkpa.
Okay.
So ọgụa anyị nọkpe. Ọgụ erukwu anyị bi. Ndị ka ebe ka anyị bi ma anyị mere enwe. Ndị ka ume ikwuno ha ezere gburugburu ọbadama. Ndị ka ebi ha kwa ihu ọsọ ha gbara hụ ejedo ụlọakwụkwọ onye ọ na-asọrọ ebe ọ sọrọ o nwere ya gbara jema sọma agbajema Mbise sọma agbajema Ụmụọhịa gị so oge a anyị na-amị kọnel ha na-achọ ya bịara isi ọhụkwa mgbe o mere wedin oge a ha nọ m eberi ọmụma labat eme wedin ihe isi m lakpuwa nwanne m kpara na-eme wedin ihe ọ bụ akpọ ọgụ isi na-abịa amị amị anyị nakwa emekwanụ ka anyị mee emechaa ya bịa chi nga ọkpala na m oge nọ nga m agba krismas esi oke ụmụ mana arụgbu a krismas ọwụ sọm alọba ama mgbe mere na-esu akwụ ihu ọsọ gbama ajọ onye gbara krismas na bịa ejesi rice eshia emaki ajọ onye mere ya
Susanna Nkwacha ụmụwa
ugbu ajụjụ ahụ m jụrụ gị mgbe ahụ si ya ugbu oge krismas eji eme mmemme oge ha mụrụ onye nzọpụta mgbe ahụ ha lụrụ Nigerian Biafra Civil War ele ekpe unu nara eji ahụ krismas ele ekpe a nara agba krismas agba ọwụda eji anọ n'ime ọhịa alụdọkwa ọgụ ele ekpe unu nara eji agba krismas oge ọgụ
dịka anyị chiri n'ime ọhịa fụda nwa ha anyị were ji ndị ọzọ ndị gadoro ga-egwuru ji nta riri ebe ụmụ gị ha kpọrọ ihe ndị oge mgbe ahụ ọcha ihe ndị ọzọ anyị were gbaa krismas ọ dịkwa n'ụlọ anyị lọdụrụ anyị n'ime ọhịa
nara anọ ime ọhịa agba krismas mgbe mana ojeje nwere kpe ejeje nke ibe ga-agakọ ga-ahụta ndị ọzọ
anyị jikwa esi ime ọhịa ahụ jee nwụchakwa onye chọrọ ịhụna ga-esikwa ime ọhịa ahụ gakwuru ya ngobikwa ime ọhịa ka
ya ahụcha ahụ ekwe mgbe ahụ ọkwana eji agba ya krismas kpinu ji eme ya mgbe ahụ manụ na ezinụlọ ya o ji anọkọta eji anọdụ ebe dị iche iche
anyị ji ga ezinụlọ gị garụba ụmụ m nwaanyị chiricha nwa ahụ anya ericha onye nọ eje nọrọ ngaghị iche ya onye nọ ya nọrọ ngaghị iche ya
o nwekwa na ndị ụmụakịrị ndị ka eji afọ na ikekwa ha si ihe jee nọrọ ebe nwanne ha da enwere ụdị ohere dịba ahụ gị mgbe
ụmụaka nweje nọrọ nga ọdịdị onye ke nwa ya fụrụ afụ ọ ga-azire kpọrọ dị nwa ya ọ ga-ekpọrọ nwa ya si nọrọ nga ya nọ
elu udu nri unu eji eri mgbe ahụ elu udu ha nara eri udu nri ndị nara abịa mgbe ahụ ha na-eri
ọ ji ndị mmanụ kpochara na-ajapụ na ụgụ ọrụ ha anya gị gapụga ore
a nara enwekwana ohere ịkọ ugbo mgbe ahụ ka ọ ha eri so that ya ruo enwe ike weta o nwere ohere a nara enwe ohere ije kọọ nri kọọ ugbo ka ọ japụ ma ọ dụọ ji
ọdịdị onye maghị ụdị n'ime ọhịa na-efu oleji ma emechara ndị Hausa agapụ anyị ebe ime ọhịa
ọ na-agbafu ebe
anyị agbafucha na-agbafu mgbafu ha na-abịachi anyị bịama anyị na-abịama dị ihe ehi na-eme anyị na-abịanụ ha na-achị anyị fụra ọ dị ma ha ehi na-eme ọgụ ahịara kpọfụra na anyị
oge krismas anyị adịghị enwe ohere anyị mara acha Chineke dị anyị n'obi ma n'ikpeazụ aga jeje krismas olo ihe na ọdị chansị dịrị na gị ohere adịghị na gị iche onwe banyere ọnọdụ ma gị ma ụmụ gị ma ezinụlọ ndị ka ọzọ ya wụrụ esi sọnde gara adị enwere ike ịnọdụ nke ese gị chọrọ mmiri gara chọrọ dị keji asaa ma ọkwanụ keji gị enye ụmụntakịrị iri ma ọkwanụ klin ụmụntakịrị saa na ahụ ụgbọ mmiri ị ga-age ntị ya kọsuo kwapụ ahụ onye ihe onye azụ alaala n'iche ihe banyere ọbara ụmụntakịrị ha ọkụ lee Yesu aga no kwa kuram yao egbe ndeke Biafra ga dan yao wunigo ya da ani che ai le no keta ni ga gi gente o mba pa mano na ga na trok no kono ndeke merra no chance dregene iga be na kwa omo ono si be na ke ga na gi be ko nyo roge be ke then a chance ate hi
About Christmas and ba.
about Christmas si agi me para ha na kana me sha olo no no so
Elekwana uduni a nara eri oge mgbe ahụ.
ewe ini ana na eri kwano me odun magi we oh no o kwani igbo anyị na ọrụ hi were get it ya kpada kwa nna njuka ndị lọrọ alọ nwekwana ndị ke shi usu je lọ nwe shiri na kwa shọkọ because gị weta ajapụ ndụ nwere ike ya gị weta koko ga chọọ na mkpuchi gị mere were mkpụrụ koko mere ofe then ya rụkwana ohe banyere ahịhịa ndị ka ọzọ ọnụ ha iri ya ọpọkwanụ egwu ada ya then ede na ahụ ndị ka ọzọ ọnụ ha nchụala etikwana ishisha gị jere fatigue geti n'ishi o mere mgbe gị chedo na gamụ nwere ozu ti isi kwacha afọchapụ ebe gad na enwetani ụra na odinara ahụ ejikwana eche ebe dọcha ọtị chọta ya Chineke mebere o mekwara ndị amị Naijiria ji ịgbakwana ha hụ gị ndị a hapụkwanụ ndị a kwaturu ya kwanụ ewe nnele ọgụ ọsọ na ọgwọdị
Okay, mgbe anyị kwana nwere olileanya si ọgụ ya ga-emecha kwụsị dị mma mgbe ahụ nwere olileanya ọ ga-ede mma ọ dị a werere ya chikpa gajiri hụ ya were ya kpa
ahụ dị n'ọnọdụ ahụ olileanya anyị nwere ụcha Chineke mana na chi hụ ọwụla nwere mbido ga-enwe ngwụcha ọkwara hụ dị ha kasị anya olileanya anyị ahụ nke taa na echi mgbe ahụ anyị ga-asị n'uhe hụrụ na eme n'ihi na ebidola ọ ga-ebido agakwa dịrị otu ụbọchị ikekwe ọ ga-nkwụsị
Yes, my name is Patrick Chinua, and I'm from Isialambano local government. And I mean, I was a child when the war started, about 7 years old. And yes, a child that is 7 years, obviously we remember things. And with Nigerian war, Biafra war is not one that you can, easily forget or forget in a hurry. Yes, in my place, that is Amozari, in Isialambano, we have Amozari. Amozari, has gone boundary with Omoku, Abaja, Ogwa, in Aleni, and Amibo, Amandoba. So we are surrounded by these, and none of these towns were evacuated. War did not, touch. That is no soldier or no boat came to this land. They were all defended from beginning to the end. There was no shooting in Amozari. So life in Amozari during the war or Christmas, we are almost the same. The only difference is that I think two different, or shall I say, different into principal terms. One is that because of hunger, which we are not, too bad because we are never evacuated, so we're able to farm and have some produce, things to exist on, despite the fact that we had lots of refugees into our enclave. Then the other one is that that's in terms of celebrating Christmas. Yes, Christmas was also celebrated, during the time in the normal way, but the only difference I can remember very well is that there was no knockouts, like shooting, so that, that time everywhere was tense, you are not allowed to shoot guns in celebration of the New Year, especially, and knockouts and all that. So, but apart from that, I think we were able to go to church, like Christmas Eve. Then the next day there'll be normal celebration, of though not as buoyant, like having all the surplus food and all that, but we were able to celebrate it. Our life were never on hold. Yes. During the Christmas, yes, the children were able to play the normal masquerade, like Mau or Jono, or that, going from house to house, doing the normal thing, and that is, be giving whatever the householder can afford. Yeah, those were in existence. But I remember in my time, we do have Owu. Well, obviously during that time, even now to a certain extent, Christmas was the most favorite dish was rice. Yes, rice, then maybe quick chicken, mixed stews with tomatoes and onion and all that. Yeah, I mean, that is fundamental in a celebration of Christmas in every family. If you don't cook rice, it's like you haven't started. Yeah, but in our place we cook rice. There's onubu soup. There's maybe obono soup and all that for the apple and the gari and all that. But definitely every family will try to cook rice, no matter how small it was. And I remember there's another dish like rice. We used to call it burger wheat. Yes, burger wheat was also very, very common that time because of the hunger in Biafran land. Burger wheat was brought in. Then we had things like cornmeal. That cornmeal was very nice. You can, take it and treat it like that. It's a grounded corn mixed with different things. It has good taste. You can, eat it like that. You can, make, like oatmeal. Make it like oatmeal. You can add, sugar. You can add sugar. Oh yeah, sugar, salt, and all that. Eat it. It's normally, yellowish in color. Yes, and it was very, very handy that time because they were bringing it from different part of the world into Biafran land. Then, another thing that stuck on my mind was during the war, the death rate. The death rate was very, very high due to kwashiorkor, due to hunger. People were, those that did not have means of survival. So our own were a bit different because my father used to do things, and he also have his gun that sometimes he kill in grass cutter, sometimes he kill antelope, sometimes he kill. So with that supplies us some kind of protein, and that one thing we lack generally that time was salt. And another source of salt was sometimes we see people come from rivers, bring water, seawater, because seawater also contains water, salt, and that. People take it and cook also, the kind of source of salt. Yes, and so there were lots of hardship, especially the refugees that came. Although the good thing is that which is a very very good about Igbo our society is this: all those refugees that came from evacuated towns like rivers in the river state like Ikwere, Umbirichi, all those places, if I remember, but I remember Ikwere, and when they came in, they were absorbed into the families, the Ibari or Obi, anywhere space. They were given places, he tried to feed them also, and that our water, our stream that time, that was a source of water for everyone. There was never any kind of discrimination against people who ran into our communities. Instead that they were reabsorbed, and try to support. Yeah, I remember, especially during the Hamatan, we go looking for opara, grasshopper, nte, and all that. They go during the especially we go morning dews, during the morning dews, there's something we make, we call it okbo. Okbo, we have a palm frond. The palm frond?
Yeah.
When you cut out from the tip, come down, the remaining tip, you make it into something that will be flat. And you add it to have some kind of weight. So when you see grasshopper, you use it to make that we go hunting for grasshopper or other things, cricket, mbopo, all those things. We will breed them. Nothing you didn't cook that time. Vegetable. The first time I saw our people eating this thing, cassava leaves. We don't eat that, but during the war, eat everything, any vegetable you bring and cook anything. Pawpaw, we cook pawpaw. When pawpaw ripe, you eat. If it's not ripe, you cut it and cook it and eat. Other things, and yes, anything we were cooking, snakes, rabbit, anything we got, rats, go hunting and all that, and we'll kill and eat, we cook, we make pepper soup out of them, we cook and eat.
I am Maurice Wookage. I'm also known as Wanja Aijamo, and I'm a musician in London. My mom and my dad left to go to England, and then the war started when they went, and we were just marooned with my grandmother. And as an old lady, she found it very difficult to feed us. And but luckily we were fed by the Red Cross. All these things you can see in my film Ogwampete, which you can get on YouTube, Ogwampete. And if you want to know what it is, go to the film and you'll find it. And basically we were fed once a day by the Red Cross until I came to England. But I'm not going to spoil the film. You go to YouTube, Ogwampete, Ugwumpiti. It's a very important Igbo word, and only certain people will know what Ogwampete is. So go to YouTube, Ogwampete. Well, I remember Christmas 1968. It would have to be, yes. And during the year it was a horrible year, 1968, because the rains didn't come. So we had no crops, no nothing. And we were eating utana ede. That's, I don't know what you call it there. Cocoyam. Yeah, it's horrible, man. I will never eat that. I'll never eat that again, okay? And whenever anyone offers me that, I become angry instantly because we ate it every day. And the thing they disturb you, there's something when you eat it, it aggravates your mouth somehow. So it wasn't a very nice thing to eat, and it didn't taste very nice either. So we were eating that every day until we ran out of that, and then we started to eat a melon, cooked melon. I don't know what it's called now. Ubokro. We started to eat it with no salt. It was horrible. It was full of water. And that's all you ate all day. That was your only meal. Once you eat that, except if you had caught some lizards, or sometimes you could climb up to a tree and take the eggs out of the bird's nest and drink them. We were just trying. So anyway, we had that every day. And I would complain to my grandma, and my grandma would say to me, don't worry, there's a man called Father Christmas. And when it's Christmas Day, he'll give you anything you want. But to get anything you want, you have to be a good boy. So I was a good boy. Because I had told Father Christmas in my prayers that I would like chicken and rice for Christmas. That's all. No toys, no sweets, no nothing. It's chicken and rice. So anyway, this day I'd been waiting for came. And we went to church with Grandma. I was so excited. And we got home. And she brought out that same melon thing, man. I couldn't believe it. Was Father Christmas real? Was it, is somebody having me on? Was it Grandma that didn't have the thing? Or was it Father Christmas that didn't? So I became very angry. So my grandma said, oh, just manage this, But the anger within me was too much. I just kicked sand into the food. So I'm not eating. And my grandma just started to cry. She didn't eat either. She just started to cry. And she's passed now, and I'm so sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. But I was so angry. And I went out with my cousin Onyebose, and we went into the bush, and we went on a hunting spree. And with my catapult, I killed 3 lizards, those red-head lizards that you could eat. I killed 3 of them with my catapult and string them up like that and put them across my thing, and it's coming back like the hunter. Anyway, I came home and my grandma she didn't even look at it. She didn't want it, which was a shame because she was really hungry too. But she couldn't bring herself to eat it, and I found the tin and we made some fire. And I cooked it, and me and my brother ate it. And that was Christmas dinner, 1968. And Merry Christmas, everyone. and anyway, the next day, funny enough, I did eat some chicken. I ate some intestines of chicken, which I had to spend all day cleaning for my auntie, Scholar, and she gave me a little bit of rice with the intestines. And that was Christmas 1968, and that was, and you may say, oh, what a terrible Christmas, but I actually did live through that day. Those children still died on Christmas Day. They didn't like, the Fulani, they weren't Christians. They didn't like go, oh, it's Christmas, we don't go today. So they were bombing on Christmas. Many people lost their lives on Christmas. So this is my this is the Christmas of a 7-year-old in Biafra, and I would say it was quite typical. Oh yeah, about Christmas in Biafra. I know children who didn't have childhood. This is the truth, you know. I know children didn't have childhood.
I want to tell a little story about Christmas in Biafra. Christmas in Biafra was not just a common festival. It is taken serious, very serious, in my own village. And you know, during the war, there were not so much people in the diaspora. Almost everybody was at home. And many people were in the farm. Some people farm, and some people are dependents of the farmers because of the war. But once it is October, the farmers will bring their produce to the town. Fishermen also will bring fish to the town. And when it is Christmas period, it is special. It is special in the sense that everybody, both the farmers, both the fishermen and the dependents, will come to the town. And it will be a time of celebration. But in October, they will come down to the town and they will not go back until after Christmas. So it's after Christmas that they go back to their farm and then start the new year season. But when they come for Christmas, the town will be bubbling. Especially when it is 24th, 25th of December. There will be masquerade all over the place. Music from different age grades. We didn't go anywhere. So even when everybody comes home, and they will enjoy. You see, that during that period, every family will want to kill goat. Every family will want to kill goat. The poorest person will kill chicken. They will kill live chicken for the family. And the basic food for that Christmas is rice. Every family you'll be perceiving the aroma of their cooking, stew, rice, and so on and so forth. And it was very enjoyable. And that is how we do our own. That's how we do our own Christmas.
Uli Airport became the Igbo lifeline during this economic blockade, Biafra having become landlocked and surrounded. Uli Airport was one of such importance, or indeed of the most singular importance to Biafra and to Nigeria, so much so that the Federalists landed a Marine-born invasion force at Oguta 1, which is only about 20 to 30 odd kilometers to Uli, so as to bring the airport within artillery range. Uli was so indispensable to the survival of Ndibo, so much so that His Excellency General Ojukwu personally commanded the Biafra forces that defended Oguta 1 and liberated Oguta 1. Within 3 days of the landing of the federal forces in the area, I was a kid then, and I vividly recollect seeing General Ojukwu and his convoy drive past towards Oguta. We were waving, cheering him and the troops being rushed to Oguta as they filed along singing, some on foot, others on vehicles and tractors. Not a single federal soldier who set foot in Oguta went home alive. They all perished, including some who came with a family, livestock and supplies in several supply ships in the Armada that invaded Oguta. Many perished where their ships were sunk. The federal side risked and lost so much in that operation because they wanted Uli Airport at all costs. Ndị Igbo threw everything at them because Uli was our lifeline and last hope. The defeat of the Federals at Oguta left a monument which remains at the Oguta Lagoon until today. The carcasses of the sunk Federal ships are all still there. Anyone who visits home should try go and see for themselves. General Ojukwu himself led the operation. That was how important and strategic Uli was and is to the Igbos. Francis Nnamdi Elekwachi.
I remember your beautiful smiling face, so kind, so good, and your laughter lit up all the world. But we had no food. Now you dine with the angels in the sky. No fear, no pain. Nah, nah, no, nah, nah, no, nah, nah, no, nah, nah, no. No, 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 no. No more tears and no more misery. Say hi to Jesus for me. If it's not the end, then why do I cry? I miss you, that's why. Nah, nah, no, nah, nah, no, nah, nah, no, nah, nah, no, no, no. No, no, Wagarahande. No, no, no. Nah, nah, no. Nah, nah, no. Nah, nah, no. Nah, nah, no. Goodbye, goodbye, mother. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.